Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to CageZilla 53. If you are listening at home on GoSports.com, this is being streamed live all around the country. So if you're sitting at home and you are watching CageZilla 53, please stay tuned. We have lots of fights to come up. Of course, the one that's coming up next is one that we are looking forward to. Plus, Elise Reed and Amy Golden. Those fights coming up. When we watch those two ladies fight, you do not want to miss this. All right, let's throw it up to Chris Fuller. We'll get the announcements of this next fight right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our next fight. Making his way to the cage and fighting out of the ring corner, it's Edwin Francois.
Edwin Francois, 5'9", 204, fighting out of Method Boxing in Stafford, Virginia. He's out of Quantico, coming by New York, with a record here in CageZilla of 3-1 with an overall ranking of 8-6. He's one of the U.S. Marines that you were talking about there, Jay.
United States Marine Corps, 16 years. He was a drill instructor, so I don't think cardio is going to be a problem with this. Really neat guy. He has a dedication for this fight. He's trained with Kid Yamamoto in Japan. Kid Yamamoto passed. Of course, if you're a fight nerd like we are, you heard about this. Passed from cancer in September, and Edwin would like to dedicate this fight to Kid Yamamoto and the time they spent together when he was stationed in Japan. We know Stuart Womack. We know the sort of fighters that Method turns out. We just saw Elijah Cisse fight. Cannot wait to see Edwin.
And we haven't seen Francois fight since 2015. And one thing I also know about Marine Corps drill instructors, they got no voice.
Very quiet.
Making his way to the cage and fighting out of the blue corner, it's Hargrove.
Hargrove standing 6'1", 197, 39 years of age, one of the older fighters that we see here throughout the fights, out of Champion Boxing in Rockville, Maryland, with a record of 1-3 here at CageZilla. Out of the Tapology ranking is 75th for the amateurs, but overall record 10-2. We saw him earlier today during fights that were happening, walking around in his Cleveland Browns jacket like this was a walk at the mall.
He's got so much experience, it doesn't matter what the combat sport is. Alan has probably done it. We saw him get a knockout in a Bout rules fight, one of my favorite rule sets that we get to see here at CageZilla. Got a knockout against a very tough cat who happens to be a friend of our own Chris Fuller's when he knocked out Alsheimer a couple of months ago.
You know, one of the things about Hargrove is he has so much experience in the striking department, and I just wonder how he'll do fighting against a big, strong guy who's not afraid to grapple.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is scheduled for three-minute rounds in the CageZilla light heavyweight division. Starting out, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5'9" and weighing in at 205 pounds, fighting out of Method Boxing with a perfect 2-0 record, it's Edwin Francois.
Francois, 5'9", 204, out of Method Boxing down in Stafford, Virginia.
And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6'2" and weighing in at 205 pounds, fighting out of Champion Boxing, it's Alan Hargrove.
Hargrove, 6'1", 197 is what I'm showing at 39 years of age.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for three-minute rounds in the CageZilla light heavyweight division. It is brought to you by Tobaccoology, fine cigars and tobacco run by fine people with locations at Manassas and Haymarket. Your referee is Michael Dolman.
Michael Dolman back in here. I'm figuring Michael Dolman might as well just do all the fights. As a matter of fact, when Charles and I fight, Michael Dolman can ref that one. So
briefly.
That's right. That's an intermission coming up right after this. All right, Michael Dolman makes sure the cage is ready to go. He calls out both fighters. They come out and touch gloves. Francois will be in the white trunks. He's got the black gloves with the red tape. Hargrove, black trunks. He's got all black gloves on as they stand toe-to-toe in the CageZilla seal.
Edwin told me he wanted to be the first Haitian-American Marine veteran UFC heavyweight champion. So I wouldn't want to tell him there's something he can't do. And down goes Hargrove.
And Francois had stood over him at first, like to say, I'm coming. Like he even let him know.
There was a bit of a warning. There was a bit of a warning. Some might call it a delay, but others will call it a warning. Good grappling here from Francois, working his way into mount. You know, one thing I'm noticing is on the weight sheet, there's about a 7-pound difference, but it's clear that Francois cut weight to get to 204, and that he's quite a bit larger here than Hargrove. So this is a tough spot to have a shorter, stocky guy with a lot of power in mount. And
we've seen the height advantage when you say a 6'1" Hargrove versus a 5'9" Francois as he stands on top and just pounds on him.
Big shots here.
That it doesn't matter once they hit the ground.
Nice job by Hargrove to turtle up a little bit and stop those blows from raining down.
And he's actually doing a really good thing right now. He's kind of arching up his hips, which was forcing. It looks like Francois' neck. Francois was able to get under the neck for a second, but what he was doing was he actually forced Francois to hold his own weight.
Hargrove's experience, though, got him out of trouble briefly.
did.
There's a big right hand from Francois.
That hurt him.
1, 2, 3, 4.
He's rocked here.
And he's just going to town.
Francois just got to work some uppercuts. Oh, big shot.
And Francois just rights and lefts.
Hargrove brought him on top, and now his arm is trapped. He's moving, but he's rocked here.
Francois was just unleashing the pain on Hargrove as he stood against the cage. And now he's got him in an awkward spot there, CD.
It's just, Francois trying to pick his shots.
And he just got caught in the eye with something. Hargrove took a shot in the eye. I don't know if his finger raked across his eyelids, but now
These are big shots that are landing here. They're clean. Hargrove's just not doing enough right now. His arm is trapped. He only has one arm to defend. He was able to get the other one free, but he's got to do something here.
Francois is trying to get his arms underneath with that rear naked choke. Just
big
landing
body
on the
shots.
ribs. Those are just killer body shots.
He's got
All in the
Hargrove's
same
arm
spot.
trapped, and he is just throwing relentless shots there to the ribs of Hargrove.
It is Hargrove's experience that is keeping him in this fight, and it's just
Very
innate
impressive.
toughness.
It's very, very impressive.
Now Hargrove has reversed this now, and Francois in a bad spot.
But the difference, though, is that Francois is able to keep Hargrove in his guard, which is going to give him opportunities to sweep, opportunities to submit, or really opportunities to just stand up. Hargrove was trapped with his arm pinned and just not able to defend those shots that were really full power blows. And right there, you see a very good reversal from Francois, and now he's going to finish the round on top.
Francois, just a big guy, and just Hargrove. The heart that Hargrove had. I mean, just taking those shots. To me, Dolman was not even a second, maybe half a second from stopping that, watching those blows land.
It was very, very close. Had there been a couple uppercuts or maybe some sort of level change, I think that might have been all she wrote. But Hargrove did a great job, Jada. To what you said, man, his experience kept him in the fight.
And at the risk of being too damn complimentary to our favorite ref, Michael Dolman, he knows who Allen is.
Right.
You know, he knows both these guys. He knows, the level. These are not debut fighters. Allen's got a lot of fight time and a lot of different disciplines of fight sports. So let it go a little further than maybe he would have under different circumstances.
And there we go. I mean, and Hargrove has the guard up, but they're getting through. And if one of those, like you said, CD, hits square, but these body blows, I mean, those gotta hurt.
Yeah. Those are dangerous shots.
I mean, to you and I, that's going to the hospital. That's kidneys bleeding. You and I are.
It's not a good place to be.
I would just get out of the cage and walk over to the ambulance.
All
right, here we go.
Let's see if Hargrove makes any adjustments here coming into round two.
Would they say welcome back, Kevin?
Yeah, no kidding. Round two here as both fighters stand toe-to-toe. Francois will be in the white trunks. He's got the black gloves with the red tape. Hargrove, black trunks, all black gloves.
I will say this. I would like to see Francois keep his hands up against a fighter as experienced as Allen Hargrove.
That looked like the street fight at the bar down in Quantico.
Oh, big shot. That hurt him there.
That sends a hush. That sounded like the 4th of July in the arena.
Big leg kick there. And then he follows it up with that overhand, that hook that kind of turns into an overhand. But I don't like his positioning when he does it. It really gives Hargrove an opportunity to counter. You don't want to. Oh, he's going to take his back.
Almost, CD.
You don't want to end up in a grappling position against a guy like Francois. You really got to keep a high volume of strikes and stay on the outside if you want to have the type of success that Hargrove needs to have.
And now this is hard to explain to the folks at home, and I know that most of the folks at home are diehard MMA folks. But if you're watching for the first time, or you've got your kids with you, or somebody's watching with one of your friends, to have a guy lay on you, he doesn't have to even do a whole lot. Francois just lay on Hargrove. He's really exerting a lot of power to get out from underneath that.
Oh, the energy it takes to move a guy like Francois off of you with that sort of top pressure.
When he does not want to be moved.
When he does not want to be moved,
just
that's
dead
key
weight.
Dead weight, just fight back.
Yeah, just dead weight. And you know that the first move that you make, Francois is going to be rested and ready to counter with these rib shots. And he keeps working the body on Hargrove. He does not like it.
No, he's going to look here to try to take mount. Hargrove did a good job of getting the knee in, but Francois just pushes it right down and steps over. And now with the grapevine legs, he's going to try to posture up and land some harder shots here, because I can tell you he wants to finish the fight. It looks like he's getting a little tired. He wants to end it here.
Yeah, if Francois can get up and start landing elbows, that'll be trouble.
Hargrove knows this too. That's why he's got a tight hold on the back of Francois' neck.
Trying to get high on that mount, try to get these arms out of the way. Hargrove knows that if these arms come down, that he's in trouble. And he's been hit by Francois. He does not want to get hit again.
Ooh, big shot there. 2 hard shots landed. And a tough one from the bottom from Hargrove, but you don't want to be trading here.
I'm about to say, you know, Hargrove could try to defend that through the middle. Oh, good right by Hargrove. He's landing some.
Big shots getting through here.
They're landing, but just getting tired.
Hargrove's doing a great job of stopping them on the way down, but he's eating quite a few shots here.
The pressure that Francois could just lay his elbow on Hargrove's face.
6 seconds. Stop on my stop.
His ability to trap the hand as well.
Amazing job of hanging in.
Oh my gosh.
Stop.
That's the end of round number 2. What a great job by both fighters. Hargrove, I'm gonna tell you, you know, Francois obviously looks like he wins the round, but Hargrove, the heart stopping all those blows, especially after the melee that it took.
But now he's got to react, right? He's down 2 rounds to none. He needs to do something here to turn this fight around. Otherwise, it's going to get away from him.
And what has happened now is Francois is out of you know, the shape that he's in. He is tired. He's sucking down some water. You know, he needs it after the work that he's put in. Hargrove just laying on his back, taking some shots here. And you can see him. I mean, he's just landing them. And Hargrove doing the best he can. Now, CD, could he come up through the middle of that and pop him?
You know, you can, but it's just not that effective. You know, you really, when you're hand fighting when you're underneath your hand fighting and you're able to get on the inside, any shot you land is coming with your back on the mat. It's not enough. It's just your shoulder, your wrist. It's just you're not able to turn your body into it. Whereas when somebody's on top of you and they're raining down those shots, it's their whole body weight.
All right, here we go. Started round number 3, third and final round. Michael Dolman, the referee, real close watch. This is a lot different from the first fight that we saw him, the referee.
Good jab there.
Dolman's really got to get in the mix here as these big guys get going, and he tries to break these guys up. We've seen him jump in there. It's a lot different from the 6th grade and 5th grade fight.
Yeah, these are big boys who are throwing real hard.
Hargrave's still in this fight.
Now he's putting a little bit more pressure on him.
Constantly moving forward. Francois White.
And just an effortless readjustment from Francois, the way he was able to lift him up on the shoulder and bring him down where he wanted.
Francois, just a big guy, just landing those, and those are bothering. Even though you're blocking them with your hand, they're still hitting you in the side of the head.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. The only thing I think I'd like to see is a little bit more choice in the punches that are thrown, right? Let's save that energy. Let's make these shots count and use a little bit more precision that will go a lot further in terms of the damage done.
Michael Dolman, close watch, making sure nobody's grabbing the cage. And that there's no, you know, blows land to the back of the head. I think that's one of the main things here. And if he can, you know, if Francois can get this hand in there, but Hargrove tucking that chin.
Hargrove is also doing a great job of preventing that second leg from getting in, preventing that second hook, which would really allow Francois to flatten out Hargrove and put him in a bad spot.
But we need to see Hargrove, if he's going to be down here taking this punishment, he needs to mount some sort of attack from this guy.
This looks like something your little brother used to do to you.
Well, it's knee on belly, but with the leg in half guard. And now it's kind of become like knee on shoulder, neck situation.
Right.
But Hargrove's doing a great job of like keeping those wrists, getting his hand inside of the arm.
He really is, isn't he? He's just irritating with those. And Francois is, you know, doing a great job, but he's like, man, I just can't get a clean one.
He's mitigated a lot of damage that would have happened here. But now you're going to be careful here. Francois is about to go for the Americana. He needs to step over. This is going to be tight. He might have to tap here. Wow, great toughness.
Position. Great toughness out of Hargrove. Great position out of Francois.
But I'll tell you what, one thing Hargrove did was he adjusted with it. So as he was turning, because Francois didn't have his body locked down, he was able to relieve some of that pressure from the Americana.
this is one of those times where, you know, of course the fans, they're just laying on each other. They don't understand what's happening right here. The great hand checking, the reverses that are happening, the counters that are happening. So it's tough for folks at home to understand and in the crowd.
All the small details that are going on here are really something, but it looks like the fight's going to end the same way it started, with Francois on top, putting damage in, going for submissions, and trying to get the finish.
And there it is, the end of round 3 between Francois and Hargrove. That was a fun fight. You know what? We talk about the younger guys having a lot more action, but those guys, you know, the punches that were landing, of course, Francois has that demeanor in that, hey, I'm coming in here and I'm going to whoop you kind of look. Hargrove really doing a great job, Jay, of defending for the rest of the fight.
That's that experience that we talked about. Yes, he fought a very tough guy, but it's nothing he hasn't seen before, whether in the gym or here in the CageZilla cage or all the other places he's fought. Great performance out of both these men.
Absolutely. You see here just the relentless top pressure of Francois. And Hargrove's just inability to really get him off.
Yeah, and you see just the rights and lefts here on this. I mean, he's really trying to sink those in, but look at the defense by Hargrove, how he's just pushing those guys off. Look, 1, 2, right through, 3, 4, but look at this arm. It's in the way. They're just sliding off.
And that was one thing that Hargrove did really well in this fight. He really mitigated a lot of the damage that came his way. For all the punches that were thrown, for all the pressure that was done, the submission attacks, he really mitigated how many he took flush.
And that's the one takedown that everybody saw come. I mean, you know what? That is over your head. That is.
It was a long way down.
That's a long way. And when that happens, you guys are just. I mean, people at home don't understand. Go stand on your top bunk and jump off and land on your back. What? Doesn't everybody have bunk beds?
Should be intermission after that.
There's still fun fights to watch, especially with the big guys. We always talk about the young guys, but of course the crowd gets pumped up for the bigger guys. And we have some bigger guys coming up later on in the fights. Let's throw it up to Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard for decision. All 3 judges scored about 30 to 27, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the red corner, Edwin Francois!
So Francois comes away with a big win over Alan Hargrove, and Alan won't go anywhere. He'll be right back here, even at age 39. We'll see him probably at age 40, age 45. He'll be right back. But I'm telling you, Edwin Francois put on a great show tonight of doing what he had to do, CD, of putting those blows right through there.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, one of the things he did was he just was relentless. He kept his top pressure. He fired a lot of punches, and he did not slow down his pace. He would only rest when he was in a dominant position, and that's where he went.
Right. All right, when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we will see the rest of CageZilla 53 here in Manassas Park, Virginia. We're going to take a quick intermission. It's going to be about 10 minutes. If you're at home, you got time to go get some zebra cakes. They're shaped like little Christmas trees. They're great. Get some milk, sit back down, right? Go get the beer. We'll be right back.